Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everyone. Am I audible to you all? You all? Can someone confirm my voice?
Yes, we can hear you.
Right. Great.
Yes, we
So,
can hear you.
right. So we warmly welcome you all for the training session. Today we are going to discuss about the very important topic. So these days, a lot of HR professionals and business firms are discussing about this topic. This is a quite debatable topic, though it is recently passed by the parliament, and now it's an act in the legal system in the country. So that is about minimum retirement age act. While implementing the act within the organization, we need to look at what kind of strategies we can make for the company perspective, like but because we don't have any other option mm, uh, respective of implementing this act. So before commenting the session, coming to the act, so I would like to bring your attention to some certain point. So why this act, the government wanted to implement this act, enhance the retirement age for employees in Sri Lanka. So that somewhat telling that like there are different kind of opinion in Sri Lankan people and also organization. Some are telling that like it is a political agenda. So I am not sure about that political agenda. Whereas some having opinion that it is forced by the society, because there are different kind of reasons from the society as well. So they force government to enhance the retirement age. So in the world also there are some different kind of social aspect forced to enhance the retirement age. So look at this video, so you can get understand about what is happening in the world. So that is about the world, but it is when look into the general perspective, it is similar to Sri Lanka as well, because the in the world the aging population is rising day by day. So so that is a global issue. So enhancing the aging population among the countries. So it is like how can it challenge, like there are some people having opinion that it is a government responsibility to look after aging population, and some researchers identified that like it is a responsibility society to look after our aging population, because we all are the day by day getting age, so getting older every day. So people are retiring from jobs. We also have in future we also retiring from our jobs as well. Then after retirement, so what can we do? So how can we look after ourselves, and how can we look after our elder people? So that is the biggest challenge. Like when you look into the Sri Lankan data, so you can see, so we are talking about the retirement age, like early retirement age is 55. So in looking to the data, according to the Registrar General Department of Sri Lanka, like you can see aging population is raised year on year. Like into 2016, it is about 1.1 million people are in the age category of 55 to 59. Then 2017 it went up. Then 2018 also it went up. Then 2019, 2020, and 2021 it's significantly growing up. Like so it so taking all the categories, these are the aging population in the country. Like so so it is clear that like aging population is growing up year on year. So that is one challenge as a country facing look after this aging population. So when taking it to the graph, so you can see it moved up significantly. Gradually it moved up. Definitely in next year and 2030, when becoming 2013, 2040, this ratio is definitely further move up. So therefore, one reason to this is one reason to enhance the retirement age in the country. And another reason, when looking to the South Asian country data, like you can see in the graph, in the table, the highest aging population are living in Sri Lanka. When comparing to the other South Asian country, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Pakistan, you can see in 2012, so in Sri Lanka, aging population, that is about 60 plus aging population, 12.4% out of the total population. It is moved up in when coming to the 2022. But when looking to the other countries, so look at India, so our neighbors country. India, now their aging population is 10.7% as a percentage, not the head count. So Sri Lanka having the biggest issue when looking to the aging population. So it may be not me, so we can't directly say that it is an issue, but we have a responsibility, we have a higher responsibility to look after them. Like so when looking after aging population as a country, we need to allocate some resources, we need to allocate some financial funds. So that's the issue. What is the, can anyone say what is the country having the highest aging population in the world? Can anyone guess which country having the highest aging population among the world? South Asia, of course, in Sri Lanka. So I'm asking as a percentage. Yes, exactly. Japan. Japan is the answer. Japan, they have the highest aging population among the world. And other reason is life expectancy. So life expectancy in Sri Lanka. So these are the figures. So another question from my end. So what is the maximum age a human being can live? So forget about this. Tell someone what is the maximum age can live as a person, as a human being. පුද්ගලයෙක්ට මනුස්සයෙක්ට උපරිම ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් අවුරුදු ගාන කීයද? Any answers? Come on. So what is the maximum age? Yeah, exactly. Namit, you are correct. 120. But it doesn't mean that we can live up to 150. There are some people in the world, they can live 150, 120, up to 120. But the life expectancy means when people die in yearlies, when collecting their ages, when dying people, as a mediating value, that is the life expectancy. මිනිස්සු මැරෙනකොට අපේ වයසක් තියෙන හැම එක්කෙනාම අවුරුදු 60 ද මැරෙන්න පුළුවන් 70 ද මැරෙන්න පුළුවන් 80 ද මැරෙන්න ඒ කට්ටිය ඔක්කොගෙම එකතු කරලා ඒජ් එක ඇවරේජ් කරාම මැරෙන ප්‍රතිශතය ඒක තමයි life expectancy කියලා කියන්නේ. So you can see in Sri Lankan data, so that is I quoted from the United Nations World Population Prospect. So they says that this source says in 1950 the life expectancy it's very less, it is 52. But අපි අහලා තියෙනවා අතීතයේදී ගත්තම අපේ මුතුන් මිත්තු ගොඩක් කාල ජීවත් වුණා කියලා. But so it fluctuated when looking at the history. Some time like in I think around 1700 1800, that period it is different. But in after 1920 වගේ පස්සේ after 1920, so it went down. So in 1950, on the year 1950, the life expectancy of a person in Sri Lanka, it is 52. But in 1960, it went up gradually. It is 59. Then 1970, 63, 1987, 67. Then when coming to the 1990, it marked as 69. In the year 2000, it is 71. In the year 2005, 74. And 2010, 75. Today, it is 77. Right? So that this is another reason to why society forced to enhance the retirement age. So there are two reasons. One is aging population, one is life expectancy. So in the world also, the highest life expectancy is available in the Japan. Japanese life expectancy is very, very high than other countries. They have the highest life expectancy age. So when I look into your feedback for the two answers, the two questions, you answered that like I asked about the impact. What is the impact for the society and what is the impact for the business? So business perspective, so I believe that all of you all are working somewhere else. But when looking to the challenges for the business perspective, currently they are having major in the bigger portion, they have the three key challenges. One is higher salary, like the organization perspective. So they believe that so when someone become into the age at the 55, their salary is very high. But because they work ගොඩක් කල් වැඩ කරලා 55 යනකොට salary එක it is come to a top level. And other thing is their productivity is going down. Like when people getting older, so their productivity is going down. So recently, when taking this decision by the Ministry of Labor, I heard that there are some companies fully opposed to this decision, especially apparel sector and the estate sector. They fully oppose this decision because like you remember, like you imagine that what is happening in the garment factory. So they have a lot of manual workers. I am not criticizing any person, but for the manual workers, they need higher energy than the office workers. Like when they becoming older, their productivity may be lesser than the younger generation. And also employee health. When people becoming older, so their health situation also it is maybe සමහර කට්ටියට ඉඳ තියෙන ප්‍රවණතාවය trend එකක් තියෙනවා ලංකාවේ. Like you remember, like recently I show a particular article from a newspaper that in Sri Lanka, more than around 50% they are suffering with the non-communicable diseases like diabetic, pressure. So there are some kind of illnesses they are suffering. So when having some illnesses, so it is affect the company processes and operation as well. So these three things are the biggest impact for business perspective when enhancing the retirement age. But now we need to look at how can we manage these three things while enhancing the retirement age. So company has to look at what are the possible opportunities to manage these kind of challenges. So what is happening in the around the world? One another example I would like to bring your attention. So retirement age of other countries. Like you can see, these are the some of countries I identify. There are some developed countries and developing countries. France, it's a developed country. Their retirement age is 67. The Finland. So we talk about Finland as they have a high social security and high quality of life. Their retirement age is 64. In United Kingdom, it is 66, and USA, it is depend with the minimum 62 to 66. It's depend with the industries. And Italy, so there are a lot of Sri Lankan live in Italy. Their retirement age is 67. Australia 66, Canada 65, Japan, they have a different retirement age for men and women. Men retirement age is 63, whereas women, their retirement age is 61. Bangladesh, it's South Asian and the country, it is 59. In India also it is depending the industries, but they are 60 to 65. And Pakistan also 60. In China, so our friend, one of friend country, their men retirement age is 60, whereas women, Chinese women, their retirement age 55. In South Korea, so there are South Korea also, so Sri Lankan employees are working in South Korea, their retirement age is 60. So these are some of world figures. So I think that so when you look into the world data, so it is very important to enhance retirement age for Sri Lankan employees as well. Give me 1 minute. I'm sorry. Like these are the in the world facts about the retirement age. So coming to our topic about the act. So the recently this pass in this act has been acted with the effect from 17th November 2021. So earlier the government gazetted the draft bill. So but recently when discussing in the parliament and when approving by the parliament, there are very minor adjustments, but now it is passed as an act 10. So now the act called as Minimum Retirement Age of Workers Act number 28 of 2021. So this is effected with effect from 17 November 2021. So now all the private sector employees retirement age would be 60, but there are different kind of criteria. So, but employees who are age of below 52, their retirement age would be 60. So in this act, there are two kind of purposes. The first one is to provide for the minimum retirement age at which an employer may retire any worker, and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. So it is, that means like in the act it is mentioned that how can we comply organization with the act. Those all the things are included in this act. And another reason is to increase the minimum retirement age up to 60. So this is these are the another thing is like in the organization, every employer have issued a letter of appointment for every employee. So in the appointment letter, it is mentioned the retirement age as maybe 55. There are some organization already given retirement age as 60. So whatever the mention in the letter of appointment, the retirement age, definitely. So once the act is enabled, definitely their retirement age would be according to this act. And there are some organizations who are running with the collective bargaining agreement, especially when having trade unions. So in the collective bargaining agreement also, the retirement age clearly mentioned in the collective bargaining agreements. So whatever mentioned in the collective bargaining agreement, definitely their retirement age would be according to this act. Like so when taking about the collective bargaining agreement, so as a normal procedure is once signed by the both parties, definitely it would be gazetted. So once the collective bargaining agreement is gazetted, it become a like agreement with both parties. But whatever the mention retirement age as in the collective bargaining agreement, definitely, so the retirement age would be enhanced according to this act. So like in the act, it says like there are some employees 54 or above, but below 55. So organization, you have to increase their retirement age 50, up to 57. And there are some other employees age 53 or above, but below 54. It means the age is 53 to 54. So you need to calculate their age like අගෝ නොවැම්බර් 14 ඒජ් එක කැල්කියුලේට් කරන්න ඕනේ. කැල්කියුලේට් කරලා බලන්න ඕනේ මේ කට්ටියගේ ඒජ් එක කොතනද වැටෙන්නේ කියලා බලන්න ඕනේ. Then so 53 or above, below 54, their retirement age would be 58. But there are other employees 52 or above, but below 53. That means 52 to 53 employees, their retirement age would be enhanced up to 59. But all the employees who are below 52 years, their retirement age definitely would be enhanced up to 60. So, and also new recruits after the date of coming into operation of this act, their retirement age definitely according to this act. That means when issuing new letter of appointment to new employees, you need to adjust their retirement age in the appointment letter as stipulated in the act. But however, so in the according when referring the act, there are some exclusions, like all the private sector employees are not covered by in the act. Let's see who are the exclude employees from this act. The first one is business firms which have less than 15 employees on average within last 12 months. භවගේ මාස 12 ගත්තම average එක විදිහට ගත්තම employees ට 15ට වඩා අඩුවෙන් ඉන්නවා නම් they are not applicable to this act. Any employer or worker in the government sector, this is not applicable for the government sector. But you remember, like when proposing the budget for this couple of days ago, the government sector employees are their retirement age also proposed to enhance up to 65. So earlier, can anyone remember which employee retirement age is the highest in Sri Lanka? මොන employees ලාගේ retirement age එක වැඩිම තිබ්බේ ලංකාවේ as a policy? Anyone can give guess answer? So we are the employees who have the highest, who had the highest retirement age in Sri Lanka. Yes, exactly. University academics. Their retirement age was 65. Now all the government employees' retirement age is 65. Maybe university academics, their retirement age maybe will increase further. So that is discussing these days. And also any worker in any statutory body, they are not covered by this act. Any work of government-owned business undertaken registered under the Company Act number 7 of 2007, they are also excluded from the act. Any work in the provincial council or local authority, they are also excluded from the act. And also any workers recruited by any registered society within the meaning of the cooperative society law, so they are also excluded. And also if someone working for charitable institution, so they are also excluded from the act. There are some other employees. So we know there are some companies who have been employed, who have employed some foreign people. Like so, you know, there these days a lot of Indian people, Bangladesh people, Chinese, and there are some foreign nationalities working in some other organization. So you don't want to worry about that their retirement age, though that is. So you can take them as a permanent employees. It doesn't matter, but you don't want to fix their retirement age as 60. So you can keep them as a 55. So or else you can take them for the fixed term contract. And also any worker entered into any contract of service for training in any trade of occupation, they are also excluded. Like any kind of trainees, maybe trainees, there are some trainees who are under wages board ordinance, and also there are some trainees who are under tertiary and vocational educational act. All the trainees you can excluded from the act. Any worker who enters into the work under the fixed term employment, like there are some, so these days a lot of organizations are recruiting employees under fixed term contract because having the current business challenges due to COVID-19 situation. So for the fixed term contract employees, of course, we are not putting their retirement age because they are starting date and end date, particularly especially mentioned in the letter of their fixed term contract. So you don't want to worry about that fixed term employees. Any worker who enters into the works under contract of fixed term employment with same. And also there are some employees who hired like for seasonal employment. So you don't want to worry about that they are them as well. And also any part-time worker, any probation worker, this is very important. So there are some organization, their probation periods like putting under beyond the 6 months. So most of organization put the probation period as 6 months, but there are some employers they mention their probation period as 9 months, maybe 12 months. But මේ ඇක්ට් එකේ විදියට මේක අයිති වෙන්නේ දවස් 180ක් වෙනකන් විතරයි. ඒ කියන්නේ මාස 6ක් වෙනකන් විතරයි. මාස 6න් පස්සේ probation period එක අයිති මාස 9ක් තිබ්බත්, so then the retirement is applicable once they completed 186 days, if not 6 months. Like you can mass now at the both mass and now so they are applicable. And also any daily paid worker, so they also excluded. Any student, any domestic service employees services, they are also excluded. And also there are any worker who serves under contract for an assignment basis employees, like maybe you have hired a doctor, maybe a lawyer, maybe a consultant. They are not excluded. They are not entitled to this retirement age enhancement. Other important thing, special provision for employers. Company to retire employees before 60. So in which occasion organization can retire employees before 60? There are a couple of incidents mentioned particularly. When upon being sick, So when the retirement age මේ act එක අර draft එකක් විදියට gazette කරනකොට එතෙන්දී මේක දාලා තිබ්බේ කෙලින්ම දාලා තිබ්බේ upon being sick කියලා විතරයි තිබ්බේ. But when passing as an act, so it is very specifically mentioned that if an employee is fully disabled and not fit to work නම් විතරයි ඒ කට්ටියව exclude කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කට්ටිය retirement age එක මෙවන්නේ. නමුත් අර ඩ්‍රාෆ්ට් බිල් එකේ තියෙද්දි කට්ටිය හිතුවා අපිට කම්පැනි වලට chance එකක් තියෙයි මේක මොකද there are some employees who are suffering with some different kind of illnesses. එතකොට so organizations were believe that they have a chance to retire early when some employees who are having sicknesses, but now it is not possible. Definitely if an employee is fully disabled, ඒ කියන්නේ වැඩ කරන්න බැරි විදියට disabled ලා තියෙනවා නම් and not fit to work නම් විතරයි, so you have a chance to retire before 60. Like not fit to work, how can you categorize? Definitely if organization or if HRM professional feel that if any employee not fit to work, definitely you need to write to the labor commissioner general, and definitely then they will appoint a medical board. Then medical board has to decide whether the employee is not fit to work or fit to work. So based on this decision, labor commissioner general he can take a decision. And on disciplinary ground, if needly, you can get rid of these employees without keeping them up to 60. And then upon closure of the destruction of an establishment due to any natural disaster and natural cases, you don't want to worry about that, keep them to 60. Then with the prior written approval of the commissioner general under the provision of the termination of employment of in the TEV Act, there are some provisions you can terminate employees. So if මක්කරි නඩුවක් යනවා නම් කවුරු employee කෙනෙක් යටතේ TEV එකේ යටතේ, you don't want to worry about that. Then definitely you have a chance to send them early without keeping them up to 60 based on the Commissioner General approval and the judgment. And also there are some special provision for employees as well. Earlier we talked about that employers. This is about the employees. So what are the provisions for employees? Any worker who wishes on his own to vacate his job prior to the renewal retirement age may on his own do so. If someone is willing to retire early without waiting up to until 60, definitely they have a chance to retire early. It's like a resignation. So they can submit resignation with a particular with the suitable notice period. Definitely they can resign from the organization without waiting until 60. And also, so one thing, කවුරුහරි employee කෙනෙක් දැන් කියනවා නම් මම 69 ඉඳ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා, so definitely you can discuss with him and take his or her discretion, and you can take a decision about that. Any worker who has been premature retired by the employer other than the manner specified above may within 2 months from the date of such retirement complain in writing to the Commissioner General. So this is like so if any organization in any employer retires some employee beyond without violating the act, the employee has to employee has to submit his complaint within 2 months. Like termination act, you have like 3 to 6 months, no? So if someone terminate, but according to this act, definitely this employee has to submit the complaint to the Commissioner General within 2 months, not 6 or not 3 months. And also another thing, hold on. employee can file a case if any employer take any action against the act. If appealed by the employer against the decision of Commission General of Labor, it is necessary to deposit 12 months or 26 months salary. So that means it's like so in the as mentioned in the second point, if any employer retire any employee before the age of 60 or while with violating this act, so this employee has to submit his complaint within 2 months. Then definitely the labor commissioner take so it is taken as an inquiry, right? එතකොට ඊට පස්සේ ඉන්ක්වයරි එක විදිහට ගත්ත මේක ඉන්ක්වයරි එකේ අනාතරතුර එයාට කියනවා ඒ ඩිසිෂන් එක ඒ ඉන්ක්වයරි එක ඉවරනකම් බලාත්මක වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ එතනින් පස්සේ කවුරු හරි ලේබර් කමිෂනර් මොකක් හරි අපි when giving a decision from the labor commissioner, employer has a right to appeal at the appeal court. So when appeal at the appeal court, definitely, so employer has to deposit 12 months salary. Appeal court එකේ අභියාචන අධිකරණේ මාස 12ක පටියක් සමයා කරන්න ඕනේ. But if any employer who are taking daily wages, ඒ කට්ටියගේ daily wages ගන්න කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා නම් 26 months salary එකක් deposit කරන්න ඕනේ. 26 month deposit කරන්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ so other point is if fails to follow the act, who are the liable to comply with the act? So owners, chairman, board of directors are liable to comply with the act. So if report any incident against with violating the act, Labor Commissioner General, they have a right to file a case against owners, chairman, or board of directors. Therefore, this is very tricky act, like it is very serious. So you need to comply with this act without taking any kind of risk. So if someone violates, so if the case go to the court level, definitely the court has a right to so magistrate court has a right to fine not exceeding 5,000 rupees or to imprisonment of either description for a term not exceeding 6 months or both such fine and imprisonment. මාසයක සිර දඬුවමක් නැත්නම් රුපියල් 5000ක දඩයක් නැත්නම් මේ දෙකම අයත් කරන්න හැකියාව තියෙනවා. So therefore it is very dangerous act actually. So you need to comply with the act. So definitely you need to take particular precautions to implement this act within your organization. So we know that as a HR professional, this is a challenge. It's a very challenge situation because every organizations are suffering with the COVID-19 challenges. So business results are so amaru tanaka tiyenne in the Sri Lanka. So but once it is passed an act, so it's in the legal framework. So we are complied to adhere to the legal act. Therefore, whether you like or not, whether irrespective of the interest of the organization, whether they like or not, definitely they need to comply with the act now. So that is about the act. So if anyone has any question to anything you want to clarify, so I am ready to answer your question.
Hello.
Yes, Chaturika.
Yeah. Question on the EPF in this scenario.
Yes. EPF definitely. So India. So yeah, I heard that. I clear your question as you are asking about the how do you want to calculate EPF after 55. So that is mentioned that like earlier situation is employee can claim EPF once they complete the age of 55. But now they have a right to claim EPF after 60. But they can withdraw their EPF at the age of 55. So I heard that they are going to reverse that EPF Act as well, but still not complete that decision. But up to the current situation, definitely you need to, every employer has to deduct EPF and ETF, and they have a right to claim up to 60. But of course, they can withdraw their EPF. If a female, they can withdraw their EPF at the age of 50. If a male employee, definitely they can wait until 55. But withdraw karan passe, definitely so you need to maybe you need to give another EPF number and you need to deduct EPF. Have I answered your question, Chaturika? Hello, Chaturika?
Okay, clear. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's clear now. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So, anyone?
Sir, how will this affect the youngsters who are joining newly to the industries?
Definitely, their retirement age you need to fix as according to the act. Maybe youngsters, definitely, if they are definitely young, mean that their age is below to 52. Definitely, you need to mention their retirement age as 60. But you can wait until complete 180 days, like until completion of under 6 months, you can wait. But after completing the 6 months, definitely you need to mention their permanent the retirement age as 60. Maybe you may need to initially you don't want to worry about that putting a retirement age in the letter of appointment, but once they complete in the 6 months, definitely you need to go and letter of addendum to the letter of appointment with mentioning that retirement age is as 60. Okay, Vim sir?
Yes, sir. Another small question.
Yeah.
Will there be something like a small block in the vacancies? Because since the employees are staying for another additional 5 years.
Yeah, you can yeah, you need to make enough strategies to control this situation, because organizations are expecting from HR to make some strategies to ensure their productivity, to manage their health. So definitely, health and well-being become the very popular topic here in after, and also productivity. So you need to look at how can you control productivity of employees when they are becoming after 55. So definitely that will be a hit to any organization. But you need to make appropriate strategies to look after employees and also look after your business as well. So that is bigger. That is a big challenge. So you can you can make think about the succession planning. So you can think about that manpower planning, think about the giving employee benefit. Maybe you need to allocate extra, you need to budget extra amount to look after these employees as well. Definitely, if you are giving the medical facilities to employees, definitely this will become a huge hit. Huge hit. Definitely, your medical bills maybe double once taking this decision. යට කටේදී අංග කටේට සමානලාට ටිකක් you can't discriminate, of course, but you may need to think about that giving allocating higher welfare amount to these elder employees and allocating a little less amount for younger employees. Maybe you need to make different kind of encouragement, like maybe ලොකු කට්ටියට වයසක කට්ටියට you may need to give extra medical. For younger generations, you may need to give another motivation factors. So anything you want to clarify?
sir, whether we need to give a new letter of appointment for those who are, existing in the company,
So it is
or
absolutely
whether we can keep a record.
yeah. But when taking so when becoming an act in the legal framework, to the legal framework, you don't want to give any appointment letters. But if you feel that, you can give a letter of addendum to letter of appointment. You can extra letter එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්, but it is not necessary. Definitely, if having a law in the country, you need to comply, whether it is irrespective of the letter of appointment. So it is applicable to all the employees. You don't want to worry about that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Like as an example, there are some companies who are giving EPF, like employer contribution is normally 12%, no? But there are some companies who are giving 15%. 15% දෙනවා. 10-15% දෙනවා. But you can't reduce the amount, like percentage. Employed 100%ක් කපන්න කියලා එහෙම කරන්න බෑ. Like එතකොට definitely whether it is available in the letter of appointment or collective agreement, definitely you need to comply with the country law. So that is compulsory. Anything?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, there's one more thing. In case of a collective agreement, can they have any clause relating to this retirement age going beyond the law? Like if the collective agreement, if they agree to go for 55 or 50, will that precede law, or how does it work?
No, you can't. Definitely it would be 60. So whether whatever mentioned in the collective agreement, definitely that retirement age would be 60. In case you need to get a special approval from Commissioner General of Labor. I don't think that also possible, because when having a law, I think Commissioner General also can't violate the law. Definitely for the collective agreement, you can't give a lesser amount. Then definitely they will not gazette. Because once you submit the collective agreement to the labor commissioner, so they check, they have a different, they have a particular department, like I remember quality checking department, or what is the labor standard division. In the labor department, there's a particular subdivision as a labor standard division. So once submit the collective agreement, the labor commissioner to gazette, they check from the through the labor standard division. Then they will track and they will not gazette your collective agreement. Therefore, you can't put those kind of thing. එකම එකක් තිබ්බේ අර මේ අසනීපයකට අර draft bill එකේ හරියට they didn't specify what kind of illnesses they can exclude. But after having the debate during the parliament, they have changed the clause as definitely they would be fully disabled. Otherwise, definitely the company has to give another retirement age as 60.
Mr. Udira.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a small question. Now we see there are some employees who are strategically very, very important to the organization.
Yeah.
In that case, even they reach to age of 60, let's say as per new act, we saw as per practice previously, they give one year extension, no 2 year extension. Likewise, they do that.
Yeah.
Does it come under this act, or can company decide that?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember there. Yeah, a lot of companies after when someone completing 55, they are keeping them under fixed term contracts. I think so. That's you're asking about that thing. So they are keeping them, like maybe changing their designation as consultant or junior consultant, and they allowed to work until 60 or 65 based on their importance to the organization. But after passing the act, you don't have any option to keep that pay. You need to then you need to ask them to resign from the organization. When completing the 55, you can ask them to resign from the organization, and then after you can re-recruit under fixed term contract. So that's the only option. Otherwise, you can't retire them early. Clear?
Thank you, Mr. Uday. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe you can implement like golden handshaking. You know, golden handshaking. You can discuss with employees. Definitely, only option is you need to take their resignation. Otherwise, you can't. But resignation එකත් බලෙන් ගන්න බෑ. You can't. Then definitely they will file another case as a constructive termination. So you need to discuss with them leisurely. Maybe there are some managers and there are some senior employees. Their salary is very high, but when looking into their performance level is maybe it's very less. When looking into the salary and the performance, it's a huge difference. Definitely, then you need to think about different kind of strategies to manage such situation.
Yes, Mr. Uday. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Anything? Right. So, so I'll do different kind of sessions, and I have created particular YouTube channel like HRM for Life. All things are free of charge. I do different kind of training for my personal interest, not earning money. So I'll do different kind of sessions and putting them to the YouTube channel. You can subscribe to your channel, this channel, and you can learn something. So if you want any thing to clarify from my end, so you can contact me anytime. So currently I am working for a particular organization and doing my PhD and already completed my BSc and Masters, and currently doing PhD. I'll put my mobile number. So if you want this slide, put your email address in the chat box. Then I share these slides with you if really want these slides. Share your email address through the chat box. This is my email address and phone number. So you can contact me anytime if you want any consultancy. So I'm not expecting any money, of course. All things are free of charge. Right. So if you don't have any question, I'll wind up the session. Thank you very much. And so it is my pleasure to talk to you all. So I'll share this recording to YouTube channel as well. And so as I said, share your email address. I'll share the presentation with you all. So thank you very much. And good night to you all. Good luck.